I think about my death regularly. In a week, at least 5-10 times. I'm not sitting there like, oh, I'm gonna die one day. I think about it like, all right, am I gonna give a shit about this problem I've got on my deathbed? No. Would I want this to follow me to the grave? Yes or no? It helps me make decisions today. I was being abused when I was a little kid, and for a couple of years I was meditating on murder. I was gonna go and kill a bunch of the people who were responsible for hurting me. And I used to think about it on a daily basis. And what the Stoics taught me through this book, that doesn't need to be the case. I'm not at the effect of this abuse anymore. It's not happening right now. Right, if you weren't a victim of it, what would be possible for you? What's up, ladies and chefs and gents? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sachin. I'm a professional coach. I've been creating coaching miracles since 2016. And today you might notice I've got this nice little prop in front of my laptop. It's called the Daily Stoic. It's 366 meditations on wisdom, perseverance, and the art of living. Why are we talking about this? Well, this is the book one of the books that was responsible for helping me cure my mental illnesses. So one of the stories in the book is one of the Stoics was sentenced to death. And he was walking around wherever, I think it was the jail or whatever, and he's chill, not worried. Or it looks like he's not worried. He might have been. And someone asked him, well, aren't you freaking out? He's like, right now I'm good. I'm not dying now, am I? I'm not in pain. I'm sentenced to be killed. Yeah, whatever. And this, Stoicism gets confused with like, stiff upper lip, never express your feelings. I don't take it like that. What I take Stoicism as, it is the medicine for stuff that life throws at us. And it's gonna happen. And if we're trying to wrap ourselves in bubble wrap by never being, never being at risk of ever being hurt, like, oh, I've got trust issues, so I keep people at a distance, or, I want to try and make sure that people don't offend me and put laws in place to make that happen. It's not going to work. The bubble wrap is a pointless endeavor. Stoicism is the most effective thing. Instead of bubble wrap, it's like coating yourself in armor, but from the inside. And this is very specific, yeah? We're not getting at being unthinking and unfeeling robot. No. What we're getting at is changing your relationship to the outside world and coming from your inner world to the outside world, living from the inside out. And what the Stoics have taught me is that not everything deserves a reaction or needs a reaction or warrants a reaction. It's not necessary. A lot of things can be met with silence. Oh, my mom and dad don't believe in me. That was true for me for a while. They didn't know what the hell this life coaching thing was. They were seeing me talking to the laptop with a big light in my face and like, what the hell is this idiot doing? He's suddenly like gone from not being able to hold down a job for 3 months to being obsessed with this. What's going on? And oh, they don't believe in me is a story I'm creating. The Stoics taught me that, hey, like, that doesn't have to be true. It might look like that, but over time, my mom and dad have seen what I've done and they're really proud of me and they come to my events and stuff. It's not set in stone. They don't believe me. They just didn't know what I was doing. Stoicism helped me have the foresight to look long term and be like, oh yeah, they will be proud of me. Just like, it takes time. They'll get on board with what I'm doing. I know I'm a good kid. I'll make it work. Stoicism is about ultimate ownership, not victimhood. Never being a victim of circumstance. So like, I was being abused when I was a little kid, and for a couple of years I was meditating on murder. I was gonna go and kill a bunch of the people who were responsible for hurting me. And I used to think about it on a daily basis. And what the Stoics taught me through this book is that that doesn't need to be the case. I'm not at the effect of this abuse anymore. It's not happening right now. And this is not a buyout clause saying, oh, well, it's fine, don't worry about it. It's not that. But it's putting me in perspective, saying, right, if you weren't a victim of it, what would be possible for you? And I'm doing this with my hands to show you, when I was a victim of it, this is what was possible. When I'm not a victim of it, this is what's possible. Limitless. And what the Stoics are really giving me is a zest for living. Whereas back then, when I was meditating on murder, I wanted to hurt people, oh, you hurt me when I was a little kid, all this stuff, I didn't have a zest for living. My posture started turning into this. And, I remember like my shoulder used to get glued to my neck and it would really hurt sometimes. A lot of ways that I was living according to I'm at the effect of what's happened to me or circumstance or the past, it was not a powerful way to live. And when I say powerful, I'm not talking about conquering things. I'm just talking about being able to have choice. Power, then my definition of powerful is how much choice do you have available to you. I don't think it's very powerful to, oh, I can't do certain things because certain people say certain things. There's no power in that because there's no choice. There's not a good and bad or you're a weak person. No, forget all that. Take all of that out of it. How much choice do you have available to you? This book will give you thousands more choices available to you. There's people like Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, I can't remember some of the other names. I've listened to this book a bunch of times. I've read it a few times. It was so helpful for me because it's broken down into one lesson a day. And what the Stoics have really given me, above all else, is agency and control over what I do. Sovereignty. In this day and age, we've never had more freedom than we have right now. And one of the things I loved, and one of the things I've taken on really, I think about my death regularly. In a week, at least 5-10 times. Minimum. And it's not some morbid bullshit. I'm not sitting there like, oh, I'm gonna die one day. I think about it like, all right, am I gonna give a shit about this problem I've got on my deathbed? No. Am I gonna want this to be how I live my life forever? Would I want this to follow me to the grave? Yes or no? It helps me make decisions today. Memento mori. Remember that you're gonna die, or something like that. I think that's what it's called. Super important. In this day and age, when you got thousands of things available to you, you got Netflix, you got drugs like alcohol, you got partying, you got go out with your friends, or you've got go and pursue an entrepreneurial career, go and hone your art skills. You got throw your life away on meaningless nonsense. You got create a life of meaning, whatever that means for you. These are all choices that we've got. And what the Stoics are throwing out in our faces is you've got agency over yourself and you can choose whatever you want. It's a very empowering way to live. And no matter what happens in the outside world, it doesn't have to create how you feel. It's not about being super strong and masculine. No, it's not about that. That's what I think a lot of people get confused with Stoicism. It's not trying to stop you from feeling stuff. What this is really showing me is that I can live a life filled with beauty if I'm looking for it and if I'm choosing it regularly. I have to go looking for it. It's not just going to throw itself in my face. And if I'm at the effect, if I'm a victim of stuff that's going on, it's very, very difficult to live a powerful and beautiful life. And that's really why I'm talking about this book. It's done so much for me and helped me like create a solid foundation of, well, the past is the past. The future is not written yet. The future is an incomplete equation. And you don't even know if you're going to have it. If you're lucky enough to wake up tomorrow, it's a blank slate. You can have whatever you want. This book, if you're willing to read it multiple times, go through it hundreds of times. I'm not going to lie, that's the most helpful thing for me. Read it regularly. It will be the key ingredient for you being successful in anything you want to do. And that's all I got for you today, ladies and chefs. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and anywhere else you find content. I've got loads more of this coming your way over the next couple of weeks, months, years, indefinitely. And like the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video.